Welcome back to Society Case Files. My name is Robert, and today I'm going to be talking about something that I backed on Kickstarter called Fledge. Now, I'm going to tell you, I didn't actually know what I was getting. I had completely forgotten. I pledged for this way back in August of 2023. The Kickstarter suggested that it would be shipped by April of 2024, and a year later, I finally got it. Now, when I did get it, I was a little confused because it came in this box. And it turns out that this is an anthology of 3 of their games, which is cool. I didn't really care too much about the other games, so I can't remember why I decided to do this pledge instead of something else. To be honest, I can barely remember when this was being advertised and how I even found out about it. But regardless, let's take a look at the books. The first one I'm going to bring up here is actually called Convictor Drive. It's a game called Armored by Grief. Basically, this game is a mech game where your characters are part of some security company in Japan, and they pilot these mechs, and they do investigations into various kinds of crime. They do random operations and missions. It's got grid-based combat, and the big twist is that in order to use these mechs' powers, the characters have to tap into their personal tragedies. They suggest that it is a 2 to 5 player game with 1 GM, and they also say that the playtime is about 2 hours. I think that's probably a little bit of nonsense, considering that the grid-based combat alone probably takes a lot more than 20 minutes to get through, and considering that you're piloting big mechs, I'm going to just assume that your players are going to want to use them and blow stuff up. So the combat will probably be part of it. The printing on the book is actually really good. They do a nice job of this dual sort of column approach to give you information. There is a lot here because you can customize those mechs, and it does have combat and such. The sad thing is there's not as much art as I would have liked. In fact, the whole reason that I bought into this set to begin with is because Fledge looked like it would have a lot of great art, and even in this book, there is not very much at all. So that was a little bit of a disappointment. However, that wasn't the reason I bought this anyway. The reason I bought this was for Fledge. So this is the book for Fledge. It does have a very simplistic layout. It is just, there is no columns. It's just text presented on the pages. The only real trick is that on your right-hand page, you got these tabs down the side that show you which chapter you're on, and they're highlighted basically as you go. There is precious little art just at the beginnings of chapters and nothing in between, no supplemental art whatsoever. It was a pretty big disappointment for me that it had so little art. I really looked forward to a lot more. The basic premise of this game is that you are an apprentice witch at a school in a fantasy world, and the idea is that your character is basically just trying to get through their spells and stuff. There's no combat, no violence. It's a total cozy RPG. There's no losers or winners. Everybody gets everybody basically gets to get celebrated regardless of how well they do. But anyway, that's what this is all about. It's a pretty sweet idea, but again, I really hoped that there would be a lot more art in it. Some of the pages are a little faded. The text is. I would have liked it to be a little darker, and it feels like it could have just had a little bit more aesthetic polish. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I mean, the cover is amazing, and the print job is pretty good. I would have hoped for a little more. This one says it's 1 to 4 players, 1 GM, and playtime of 2 hours again. It's also a product made in China, so these will not be so cheap with these crazy tariffs coming out. All right, final game that came with this is called Picaresque Roman. It's a Requiem for Rogues role-playing game. And the idea behind this one is that it's a semi-competitive role-playing game where you're basically playing a bunch of criminals and thugs in Japan. You basically are vying for points so that you can become a VIP character. Somebody in your group is a traitor, and you have to figure out who they are by the end of the game. Otherwise, they can steal all of your hard-earned points. This looks almost exactly like the mech one as far as the layout is concerned. It's got the 2-column approach. Very little art again. A couple of pictures here and there, but not much. And this one's also very rules light. There's no actual death in the game. There's just social death. So you basically like lose reputation and that kind of thing. But it's kind of interesting. I would not have bought this book on my own or on its own. I'm not sure why I picked this one up, to be honest, or why I bought this particular set, because I thought I would have read about what these were and not really been all that interested in the mech one or this one. But, whatever. Because this has something in common with One Night Ultimate Werewolf, you do have to play with more than only a couple people. So this one does recommend 4 to 5 players with one GM. Mostly because if you're trying to find someone who is a trader and there's only 3 of you, it's going to be pretty easy to figure it out, I guess. And just to keep it in real here, there's a quote on the back. It says, "It's like a game of Mario Party in that everyone is a villain. It's all about how you'll outwit or take advantage of your opponents. But since everyone's a jerk, you don't need to feel bad about stealing their stuff. Also, the character art is gorgeous." Well, what little of it there is, I agree. It is actually really well done. So that's it for these books. They also included a pamphlet that has some characters in it and some cheat sheets for the 3 games. It's okay. I think it would be very useful if you were going to dive deep into this stuff. But it's also not entirely necessary either. It's just a cool, nice to have. So anyway, have you backed any games recently? What do you think of crowdfunded games? Have you had any good luck, bad luck? Let me know in the comments. But anyway, this is Robert with Society Case Files, signing off.